always just going to attack it when like defenders.
I think it's like.
Happy Monday, folks, people. Deluded, I'm back again. Now, last week was disappointing, or last weekend was disappointing where Arsenal Football Club's concerned. It depends on how you look at it. Do you look at it as 7 points dropped in the last 5 games or 1 defeat in 18? Or do you consider both of those things and we're in the middle ground? End of the day, it's a new week. It's a new opportunity to right the wrongs. We've got Club Brugge on Wednesday away in Belgium. Again, with the owing to the injuries mounting and the minutes in the legs and the lack of players to pick from, Arteta is going to have to earn his money during this period. Obviously, there's going to have to be, in my opinion, some element of rest and rotation on Wednesday. And then obviously, big up Wolves. But if you don't get 3 points against Wolves at our place, then there's big question marks in it. As I was saying, it's a new week. Big up you lot tuned in. Big up you lot that no doubt going to watch this on a replay. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. And of course, in some cases, good night. Arsenal have been linked with Barcola. You know, this could be a season-defining run, I believe, incoming. You might look back in May and depending on what we do or don't do in this period kind of defines everything. You can't win or lose. You can't win or lose a Premier League title in this kind of period. But I do think you can, people. And ultimately, we know we're serious about trying to win trophies, but it's time to remind everyone and prove to ourselves that we're actually serious. It's as simple as that, man. So, yeah, if you haven't liked, comment, subscribe, then what you're doing. Make sure we lose today, DG, or I'll spin back like G1. Brother, United, you lot could go full focus, bro. Man, I'm not watching and worrying about United. Like, there's big things for Arsenal Football Club to be concerned about. What my manager does or doesn't do, trophies, injuries. I'm more worried about Crystal Palace and Aston Villa and Chelsea. I'm not worried about you lot, man. You lot are doing your thing, though, man. 1 game a week, like, fam. Barcola ain't it. Can't have 2 Madueke level mentality at the club. That's harsh, man. You really think Barcola's that dead? That's harsh. Linz, appreciate you. As Social has said, hit the likes, people. Should we share the screen immediately, man? What's the point wasting time? So, yeah, I don't look at the league table, but with 15 games played, with 2 points clear at the top, you've got Aston Villa creeping 3 points off us. Obviously, City are 2 points behind us. Crystal Palace are doing quite well, 26 points. Big up Everton doing their thing. And Chelsea, listen, I need to hear questions asked of Chelsea because they were apparently the winner, going to win it and all these things and the champions of the world. So there's all of that. I think United could jump up to 4th if they win today. So, yeah, man, you lot doing your thing, man. Again, it's a bit mad, isn't it, people? I saw this tweet by Simon Collins. I make this Arsenal's 6th different centre-back partnership to start a game this season in what is their 22nd match of the campaign. We've seen Gabriel and Saliba. We've seen Gabriel Mascara. We've seen Saliba Mascara. We've seen Hincapié and Mascara. We've seen Hincapié and Timber. And we've seen Hincapié and Saliba. I'm not going to lie. I do think everything was a bit of a mess against Aston Villa, especially the 2 centre-backs. Like, one stepping forward, one's playing people on side. Probably the deadest partnership we've seen, man, if I'm honest. And we're not the only ones with injuries. You know, Rodri's out, obviously, for City, and 1 minute he's there and then he's not there. Pep Guardiola has said John Stones is injured again. I don't know how long he'll be out for, in which we're going to need you for England come the end of the season. Izan Khan, who brings out a lot of articles on the Daily Mail, he has said Kai Havertz is a player for whom Mikel Arteta has a lot of affection from both a professional and personal standpoint. Once he's fully fit, which is expected to be before Christmas, bearing in mind Christmas is fast approaching, he is set to be the first choice option. It's understood that Arsenal are really excited about his return. Club sources also say that in games where Kai may not play as a striker, Arteta will try to find another role for him in the side. Of course, you know, I'm willing and waiting to see Kai Havertz be the #1 striker. I definitely think he's going to play in that Odegaard role. I would not rule out, especially with us not being able to rest Declan Rice. I'm not saying I want it, people, but don't rule out Kai Havertz playing on that in that kind of left 8. I've given up on Gyökeres being the talisman, and I've just accepted you're part of the squad. I know you've been injured and things like that, but it is what it is. And what I would say to the gaffer, as long as you win trophies, do your thing, because we're not going to get out of the hood with Kai Havertz, Marino leading the line. It's just not going to happen. They can chip in, and I'm not doubting their qualities, but come on. And I get a bit annoyed because Marino and Kai Havertz, when they're on a football pitch for Arsenal, it seems like we create chances that are a striker's dream. The minute Gyökeres is there, it's poor. I'm not even saying Gyökeres is necessarily the answer, but you've never really been exposed to what a man fully could do. On the topic of strikers, it's understood that Mikel Arteta values the way Mikel Merino takes up positions which strikers don't normally do, and will continue to consider him as first choice for some games, even if Kai Havertz and Victor Gyökeres are available. Moving away from that, Arsenal view Gabriel Jesus as behind possibly Mikel Merino, depending on the situation, but someone who has a role to play, particularly in the league and FA Cup. The Brazilian also has the ability to play out wide, which gives a further option. I don't think anyone's imagining Gabriel Jesus to get any consistent football, much less through the middle, but he's a tool that evidently can help us, if I'm completely honest, as we're trying to win silverware. Apparently, he's not going to be registered until in the Champions League until we confirm safe passage. I saw Tom Canton tweet something about that, people. It's understood it's understood Mikel Arteta is prepared deploy of Kai Havertz and Victor Gyökeres playing together during pre-season and can see the attackers combining well in the same lineup. Do you know what the maddest thing is? It could bang. Kai Havertz, you do all the other stuff that needs from a striker, dropping deep, and you all have to alternate. There'll be times Gyökeres drops and you running behind, but all the other stuff Arteta wants from the system, you do that. Gyökeres on the last shoulder. On the last shoulder, let's just keep it moving. Do what he's paid to do, people. On the topic of Gyökeres, Mikel Arteta views Victor Gyökeres as a striker to break down low blocks, a primary reason for his signing. It is understood that the boss has really stressed to the team that they have to get better at seeing his runs, but also believes the striker has to adapt to. Fair enough. We hear that. We hear that. And yeah, once again, Kai set to return very shortly, people. Ayoub Bouadi, who signed a new deal at Lille, but rumors keep circulating. Big up Rob in the cut, by the way. They just keep circulating about us purchasing him, people, which I'm all for it. You don't need to tell me as an Arsenal fan twice. He's very much a player we want. He signed a new deal, but that hasn't stopped Real Madrid, Manchester United, Arsenal, as well as Paris Saint-Germain monitoring him, people. He's attracting interest from a handful of major clubs across Europe, according to a report from Foot Mercato. The 18-year-old, a very promising midfielder who blends physical presence with technical excellence and maturity that defies his age, is reportedly already under the radar of Arsenal, Chelsea, and PSG. He's expected to leave Lille next summer, given Lille won't be in a position to turn down a major bid. Even though Bouadi recently extended his contract, apparently it's been reported they'd be willing to part ways with the prospect in exchange for a 60 million transfer fee. So that's about 50 odd million pounds. Smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't. Don't forget, people, 4 p.m. I'm having Toasting, which is a great chance for me to shut up, entertain questions from you lot, and hear someone else's thoughts, people. But once again, according to Foot Mercato, Bouadi's rare profiles not gone unnoticed among Europe's elite. Real Madrid, Inter Milan, Bayern Munich, Juventus, PSG, Arsenal, Manchester United have all got their eyes turned towards the Lille midfielder, and they are not alone as well, given Bouadi's international future is still under consideration. The 18-year-old currently learns his trade with France's under-21 side, but Morocco covets him too, as Bouadi, who was born in France, is of Moroccan descent. The outlet understands that Deschamps has contacted Bouadi to let him know that France will count on him for the foreseeable future. But will it be with Deschamps or with his successor after the 2026 World Cup, in which there's been rumors they're going to go and get Zidane, people? Again, on the topic of rumors, people, it seems like they're filing in for where Arsenal's concerned. What have we got? Apparently, Arsenal chased Bradley Barcola. Arsenal made a strong move to sign PSG, a winger, Bradley Barcola, as per French outlet Le Temps Sport. It's claimed that Mikel Arteta's side are keen to entice the Frenchman to complete an Emirates Stadium switch in 2026. Although Liverpool are also a very active candidate in the race to sign a 23-year-old. He's a good player, but he's incredibly frustrating. Meanwhile, PSG are eager to tie him down to a new contract, which we've seen all over the summer, people. Apparently, Man City want to spend 120 million euros on Estavio and Kobe Mainos to leave Arsenal. Anyone taking Kobe Mainoo? Has there been any other rumors while we've been here? What's this? Okay. What's this? Arteta could quit Arsenal if he's off. See, this is silly season, but you know what? We might as well entertain it, people. Mikel Arteta could quit Arsenal if he's offered the Barcelona job. That is according to a sensational report in Spain, I guess. Franchans, I can never say that name, who claim Arteta is considering accepting a potential offer from Barcelona. Simultaneously, there is rumors around Mikel Arteta getting a new deal. Barcelona may look to appoint a new coach at the end of the season, with Hansi Flick's future in doubt, and Arteta has been heavily linked in recent weeks. Apparently, the report claims there's a good chance Arteta would say yes if he's offered the job. He's a boyhood Barcelona fan, came through the academy, all of that kind of jazz. And some Arsenal fans want to see the back of Arteta if you do not win silverware. Well, It's a creative way of styling the article. It's just said what we've read, that Man United are also in the hat to sign Boadi from Lille. Wouldn't quite wrap it up as Arsenal rocked as Man United eye Gyökeres revenge, but okay, you know what? The game is the game. Apparently, Liverpool have reportedly joined Arsenal and Man United in the race to sign Rennes defender Jeremy Jacquet next summer. I'm on signing him. Whether you're going to play right back, centre half, go on loan, I'm on just defenders galore. The France under-21 international has emerged as a key transfer target for a number of top European clubs over the past 12 months. He has been widely tipped to secure a Premier League move in 2026 amid a brewing transfer battle. Jacquet was close to completing an Arsenal switch over the summer, with the 20-year-old having been identified as the Gunners' dream long-term replacement for William Saliba, although he ultimately turned the chance down to complete a move to the Emirates. Man United have now firmly registered their interest in his signature. Rumours suggest Amorim's side could lodge a 40 million euros bid next year. They're keen to sign a new defender for 2026. Apparently, Liverpool have him as a replacement for Konate. And yeah, it'll be lit. As mentioned, Jacquet rejected a chance to join Arsenal this summer in favour of staying at Rennes, and the Gunners' recent transfer business suggests he may instead opt to sign for Liverpool, Man United next summer. Well, to be fair, you're more likely to get first-team football at those clubs. You can even play right back. You're more likely to dislodge whoever the hell is a right back for Man United, especially when Amorim gets sacked and they start just playing four at the back. Liverpool, boy, if you're a defender linked with Liverpool, massive club, you know Van Dijk's not going to be there forever. Konate's contract situations, I must admit, not necessarily Liverpool fans, yeah, but Jamie Carragher and Liverpool-based publications, you would think Konate is stinking up the place, but you think he's the only player stinking up the place. It's quite nasty how, like, radio set Van Dijk is dropping serious clangers day in, day out, but nonetheless, we should have signed him. At the time, I was in favour of him neutrally rejecting Arsenal. You're just getting inroads at the time in Rennes' first team. You're going to be behind Saliba. You're going to be behind Gabriel. You're going to be behind, a lot of players. Of course, with what you see with Arsenal right now and the landscape and injuries, you can never have too many players. But I do think in this day and age, we forget how young these players are. There's not, quote unquote, there's no rush. Typically, if Arsenal, Liverpool, Man United are coming for you, you're going to want to go and sign, but just get the fluidity, and look at Jeremy Hatto. Look at Jarrell Hatto. Can't buy a game for Chelsea. Could it have been best in a World Cup year, staying at Ajax, getting another season under your belt, and then making that move, or saying to Chelsea, send me back there on loan? Don't know though. With Mascherano and Ngapié adding yet more depth to Arteta's defensive roster this summer, Jacquet would likely find game time hard to come by at the Emirates Stadium if he completes a move next year. I mean, if Ben White shipped off, you never know. Liverpool or United appear to be slightly more realistic destinations, with Arsenal therefore potentially set to miss out on their long-term Saliba replacement. So yeah, man. I mean, I'm happy with Mascherano. Let's start closing these tabs. Tab police, you'll always get on to me, see? We're clearing them out today. Look how sexy everything's looking. We'll keep that one there in case there's some developing Arsenal news. I know some of you are big fans of Kin and Yildiz. We keep getting spanned with this. I don't know, really and truly. I think at Arsenal and a lot of teams across the Premier League and Europe are fond of him. Another one that you see a lot of transfer rumours with Juventus. So I do look at it with a pinch of salt. Arsenal are ready to step up their interest in Juventus wonder kid Kinlan Yildiz amid contract uncertainty and interest from Real Madrid. I mean, Real Madrid, you'd have both Turkish wonder kids in him and Arda Güler and all the other guys you got. The Premier League leaders are known to want to reinforce their attacking options and have Yildiz in their sights as the January transfer window approaches. We're not getting him, Barcola, all of these guys in January. It's not happening. Even I wouldn't be against it. You know, you're probably more realistic to get Semenyo, even though that's not going to happen. And owing to the landscape with us, with our injuries and players being available, if we're going to act in the market, surely it's going to be a loan in whatever position. Surely you might be able to make a case that Arsenal probably need a central midfielder, maybe a lone defensive target to tie us over, especially if we keep seeing what we're seeing now. I don't know. If Yildiz is available, if I took these words for gospel and we can actually make it happen, great stuff. But I struggle to believe this. The 20-year-old has become one of Serie A's outstanding prospects, but Calcio Mercato indicates he could soon be on his way to the Emirates Stadium as interest from Mikel Arteta's sides builds. Juventus' position over Yildiz is becoming an increasingly fragile as contract talks with their young ace falter. The former Bayern Munich youth is aiming for a contract worth 5 to 6 million euros per year, yet Juventus have reportedly balked at such a request, which is around 4 times what he currently earns. I mean, I would want the same if I've become so important to Juventus. Everybody's circling around me. I'm the captain and all these kind of things. Although the Turkey international, who has 5 goals and 3 assists in Serie A this season, is under contract until 2029, a stellar 2024-25 has pushed his value up significantly, and the player now wants to be paid in line with this. Calm down. Everyone wants to do this with balance and anything can be done, said Giorgio Chiellini, Juventus's director of football. Wait, Chiellini, the centre half that pulled Saka. When did you become director of football? I don't know, people, but apparently Arsenal have made real contact with Juventus star. Juventus face a double threat from Real Madrid and Arsenal, with the clubs fighting to secure his signature while his new deal remains unsigned. Again, when a player is doing well at a club and there's contract talks, all of a sudden everybody in Europe is circling. There's probably a degree of truth. Everyone wants good players. I struggle to imagine, like, if this guy genuinely is available, all of the traditional top 6 or top 5 in Spurs, your PSGs, maybe even Bayern Munich, everyone doesn't mean necessarily bidding. Everyone will be interested to listen. Everyone will read the email if you were to email that he's available. There's been real contact with Arsenal. That is, Arsenal asks for information. It's part of the game. There's no negotiation. Let's be clear. But they have asked for information about the player who, in my opinion, could also do very well in the Premier League, said journalist Gianni Balzarini. Given his physical and technical characteristics, and so it's clear that after all this atmosphere here, a sort of halo is forming around the boy, the player who, for his part, I also understand may claim the need to play in a better team. And apparently Fabrizio Romano's previously revealed that Yildiz is scheduled to conduct a new round of contract talks with Juventus, which were penciled in for around now, suggesting that the news of Arsenal's interest in the player could be part of a plan to leverage him getting a better deal in the Turin. So, pardon me, we've seen that a lot of the time, people. Smash the like button if you haven't already. Berta is getting me Yildiz. I hope so. Big up Dermot, manager, saying, people, DG don't know that most normies don't even get 10 tabs. You can never clean the thing up for them. Fair enough. Most guys sign the extension and just leave after a few months. I like Yildiz, but it's probably Rodrigo because that's more opportunistic. Arteta is getting a contract extension. He's not going on loan if he's costing more than 5 million. I mean, we did that with Saliba. Things are lining up for Ben White's departure. I'm not going to draw any conclusions yet, but I mean, if you can make way for Ben White and get someone better, great. But I love Ben. Speaking of defenders, Jurien Timber reveals true reason behind Arsenal slip-up. We can't play. Jurien Timber has pointed to Arsenal's growing injury list as the primary reason behind their recent stuttering form. The Gunners were 7 points clear just over a month ago, but a tricky run of form has seen that advantage reduced to 2, in which I'm not happy with the goals we conceded against Sunderland, neither Chelsea, obviously Aston Villa. There's plenty of said, and again, it depends how you look at it. Is it first loss in 18? Is it 7 points dropped in 5? Or is it a bit of the 2? We can get, on one hand, there is a sense of pride, bro, man. We've bucked all these big teams. We've done all right. We have shot ourselves in the foot. While we know we can't win every game and every draw and loss, they're unfamiliar kind of feelings for Arsenal fans this season. It is going to happen. That being said, I'm all about isolating the 90 minutes. No one can convince me. I don't care who was available, who wasn't. The gaffer, the players. I actually think Aston Villa away was somehow worse than Chelsea because at least you lot were somewhat defensively solid against Chelsea. There was elements of a mixed bag against Villa. You were decent in moments. Statistically, it looks even. Football decided in both boxes. Didn't really create enough, and we did not take advantage of the half chances. Big up Trossard for getting us in the game. Obviously, we should have scored a lot more than one because I think Aston Villa could have been got out there, and both teams made each other suffer. We should be thankful we only conceded 2. We defended like a lot of, in fact, the whole team, whether it's defending, attacking, we look like a bunch of individuals, not winning our balls, nervous, not communicating, injuries and not being fit, and all these things play a part. End of the day, you need to keep it moving, and it's a mixed bag. Everyone's got to play each other. Everyone's got to play everyone twice. I'm sure every team in this league can go through their fixture calendar list, and that's kind of their techie games. Like Leeds at the moment, like they're doing quite well against Liverpool and Chelsea, and we're not too many weeks away from when they actually had to play City. So you can do all of that kind of stuff. And on one hand, I don't want to panic. We know the table is going to fluctuate, but we need to be harsh on ourselves. And if I'm honest with you, away from home, we ain't been good enough this year. Every game we've played away from home, we've conceded a cheap goal this year. You can't. Szoboszlai, great free kick. I can't factor in. Nobody knew that was going in. But what I can talk about is you could feel the tide turning in that second half. We didn't act, or specifically the gaffer didn't act. Best away performance for me, undoubtedly Newcastle. I think that was a positive turning point. Proud of my boys, proud of the team. But isolated to the goal we conceded, that weren't good enough. Sunderland, where we had our key players, them 2 goals weren't good enough. And for one of the best defensive teams in the league, if not Europe, whatever way you shape it, 15 minutes away from free. No one's gonna give you 3 points in this league. 15 minutes away from securing 3 points. You got to fucking make sure you do it. But It didn't happen, did it? Chelsea, write off. Like, let's just be honest. Aston Villa, write off. The downers have come in the away games, in my opinion. So we need to get back to those standards. I think sometimes we're a bit, and it's more the gaffers' tactics. I think we're a bit too timid and try to, I think we're a bit too timid away from home. I don't feel we try and throw punches. We kind of box kind of cleverly, if that makes sense. We do look a bit spent. We have had a tough run of fixtures, and it could be a lot better. It could sure as hell be a lot worse. All we could do is go on, man. And now Arteta and the boys, the players out there, you lot need to get back on it and just start winning games. Arteta, this is where you earn your money. Because there is a need to rotate now. You know me, I think that people do too much with this rotating thing. But Club Brugge, you're through. I'm not saying change the team completely. You're going to have to. I'm a bit in two minds about Wolves because there's 3 points there. It's the Premier League. Yes, on paper, we should be able to rotate and get 3 points against Wolves, but they're fighting for their lives. Leeds are fighting for their lives, and look at the shock performances. So the strongest team has to go out there. But you could make a case there might need to be some rotation. This period, you can't win or lose a title, but it sets a bad precedent or a good one. And we will look back in May as this is where it was won or lost. And I will say this in the team's defense, while I still think, regardless of injuries, all that crap, the games we've dropped points, you can't win them all, and you're going to drop points. I think we could have given a lot more, but we've either lost or dropped points to decent teams or teams that are in a good moment. Aston Villa in a title shout. They've started. I wish we played Aston Villa early in the season. They've got their act together. Unai Emery's Aston Villa are flying at this moment in time. Sunderland have dropped down a bit, but at the time, they were one of the most informed sides. Obviously, Liverpool, the reigning champions. Chelsea were bullish after the Barcelona thing, and they're up there in the table. We are dropping dumb points, but we're not losing to shit sides. But injuries, all these things, by hook or by crook, you know what you need to achieve in May, in it. So there's no excuses. It is what it is. I am starting to think, Berta, can you pull a rabbit out the hat in January? Because it's looking like there's no one to really pick from. But Timber said, yeah, it's a disruption. I think we have a great squad. I think players that come in always do really good, but obviously it's not always easy. We can't play every week with the same players, and if players go out again, it's tough. But I think it's also part of it. It happens within a season. I think it happens at every club. With us, it's the same, and we just have to manage that and win our games. And I do feel sorry for anyone that's injured, but I would say Kai Havertz and Gabriel Magalhaes in particular. 2025 has seen you two suffer some massive injuries. So yeah. And obviously, we're in that kind of weird stage, Arsenal fans, where there's a lot of players that have a lot of minutes in the legs and you want to rest, but for whatever reason we can't. And then you have players that haven't been exposed to football, like they're out of sorts. So you got players that are a bit spent and not really got rhythm. Players that haven't been afforded to build up rhythm. Both players, sets of groups are lacking rhythm. It adds to the cocktail, but this is what's going to happen because even when we was winning games, we was talking about these things. The Gunners have also seen Gyökeres, Odegaard, Gabriel Jesus all on the treatment table at various times. Despite that, Timber is not looking for an excuse and believes that the weekend's late defeat to Villa should give Arsenal fresh motivation as they end their long wait for a Premier League crown. I think in the end, you need to use it as motivation and in the end as a strength because it happens. We need to accept it and we need to get better. At the same time, within the season, I think these moments happen, setbacks, and you just have to step up after that. It's true. Context is key, how we've dropped points. But if we take the lazy view, if you just showed every Arsenal fan the results, the points on the board in August to now, probably would have taken it. But it's what you boys want to do beyond this point now. We can feel sorry for ourselves. We can keep it moving. What has Gyökeres said? We're, of course, disappointed with the result. It's not a great feeling, but it's only December. There are a lot of games to play. You can always find some positives, but it's still a very difficult way to lose a football game. It's tough right now, but we'll look forward to the next one. We just have to keep creating chances and get shots on goal because then you eventually score more goals. So, yes, that's, of course, a positive. We just need to do things in between also a bit better. It's football. If you score in the last few seconds or minutes, that's an unbelievable feeling. So it goes both ways. Today, unfortunately, it was the other way. It's tough, but you learn from it. If we focus on what we can control and do in our favor and focus on the next game, we'll be better, I think. So, yeah, fair enough. Fair enough, striker. Fair enough. Good news for Arsenal after title setback, but now Arteta must buck trend. The ball hit the back of the net and Arsenal players hit the floor. Even the reaction to when we conceded that, I like it because I can tell it means something to you lot. David Wright even banged the turf repeatedly. Such was his frustration at Emi Martinez's late win. And we can't be surprised. They deserved it. Great subs from Emery. They deserved it. But the whole day we defended like some individuals, even Timber and Rice. Times where players, and for me, it's communication because there's times I'm seeing Timber and Rice in particular. It's a scramble in our box. They're hooking it and it's going straight back to Aston Villa. Other games, like they've got the calm composureness, but I don't blame them. They ain't got eyes in the back of their head. They can't see behind them. This is what I mean. That was what was jarring me beyond everything. It looked like there was a lack of communication. So we were just not good enough for one. Fucking knackered. Gaffer moving mad. Obviously, hindsight's a wonderful thing. The Odegaard weren't dead, but the Odegaard and Eze thing, it didn't. There'll be times for it, and you're gonna have to get that right. But that wasn't the right game. We are in that period. I genuinely think if players are in a good form, a good moment, you have to play on that. So everything just went wrong, man. Everything just went wrong. The only thing we did is start the second half well, obviously score a goal. So at least Aston Villa got something to look at. Saw Odegaard actually have a long range effort. How many times did Odegaard put his foot through it? Apart from that, it was dead, innit, it, really? And I can't act surprised. Of course, it hurts to concede in the manner you did, but we deserve to concede. We should have scored more than one, as I said earlier, and we should have conceded a lot more than two. Let's be brutally honest. I don't think we're defending to the high standards of last season, but defending well. And I've said this since August, and you lot told me I was tweaking. We're defending well. I'm not saying it's all doom and gloom, but we're conceding a lot of cheap goals. And don't try and tell me, oh, it's because Saliba and Gabriel, because when they were here, things were happening. What going for Newcastle? City at home. I don't blame the players necessarily for the one against Liverpool. Gaffer, there needs to be a bit proactiveness, because I think we're kind of getting into the sentiment and the talking points and all of those kind of things that we said at the start. I want to get back to how we felt from Newcastle, probably up until Sunderland, or just in and around that. It's hard to blame the goalkeeper. The Gunners were so close to claiming a hard-earned point on Saturday before Buendia broke their hearts. Defeats have been rare for Arsenal this season, and this was their first since August, which, again, big you up for that. Like, big you up for that. It puts things into perspective. You haven't lost since Carnival, essentially, innit? Like, you haven't lost. One loss in 18, but also the recent form, whether it's injuries, whatever, we're at. One loss in 18, 7 points dropped in 5. It's a mixed bag. Need to get back on it. Damn. Arsenal's lead at the top of the Premier League ahead of Manchester City is now just 2 points, while Aston Villa are only 3 off them. Well, if you thought we were just going to run away with this, you're living in la-la land, innit? All eyes are now on how Arsenal respond. Before Saturday, they had been on an 18-game unbeaten run in all comps. The Gunners have had a brutal run of fixtures with games against Aston Villa, Bayern, Brentford, Chelsea and Spurs, all coming in the space of 14 days. And you held it up. You know, you were shit against Chelsea by our standards. Got a draw, keep it moving. Done what you needed to do against Tottenham Hotspur. Dealt with Bayern Munich. Lost against Villa, beat Brentford. You know, it's not all doom and gloomy, man. Try the thing. You can't win them all, but we just need to get on it now. We can't feel sorry for ourselves. We ain't achieved nothing. We can't be bare happy. We can't be bare sad. It is what it is. The injury issues have increased in that time to the point that Pierre Hincapie was the only fit centre-back available to Arteta on Saturday. Something's got to be looked at, you know, with the injuries. It's above my pay grade. I don't know if it's because there's different contexts around the injuries. I don't know if it's minutes/load management, impact injuries on the field, overplaying, training, maybe not training, recovery sessions. Maybe the players are going and doing something. You know, I don't think you can stop players for playing for their countries, but Gabriel Magalhaes gives food for thought. There just needs to be a full review into that. The good news for Arsenal is that the fixture list is easing, and so is their injury crisis. Is it really easing? Because I know we got to play Villa soon. I know we've got Man United and Liverpool next month. I know we've got Brighton to come, and we know how Brighton are. I know we've got a League Cup quarterfinals against Crystal Palace. Even Wolves. Don't get it twisted. We should be mashing up Wolves and mashing them up and beating them, but don't think that's a walk in the park. Yes, on paper, it might not be this crazy run of games we've had, but I'm not having that. Because then you want to tell me every game's a cup final. Let's get on with it, man. Saliba should hopefully be back soon, and that will at least allow Timber to move back to right back instead of filling in at the hard defense. Arteta also has the luxury of hosting Wolves on Saturday. They're the worst team in the Premier League. It's hard to think of a kind of game as Arsenal bid to bounce back. Stranger things have happened in this life. And again, there's a lot of injuries, and we are traveling to Belgium. And again, some of you are liars. Remember when they called Gyökeres fat? Fair play, though. Fair play. Like in the Premier League, they're top of the Champions League, and so the opportunity is there for Arteta to rotate. Arsenal all but guaranteed to finish in the top 8 of the league phase, as they are 5 points clear of City in 9th with 3 games to go. It means Arteta has a chance to rest some players in Belgium, an opportunity you can't ignore. That I agree with. Arsenal look like a team feeling the impact of 5 games in 14 days as they failed to defeat at Villa Park. I don't think that's the last thing I'm going to look at, but it was a massive factor. And again, Arteta, you got to hold that. Those matches have also been huge games, including 2 London derbies and a clash with arguably the best team in Europe this season. Arteta has historically been reluctant to ring the changes, but this week feels like a moment where he must buck the trend. Some Arsenal players looked understandably dead on their feet during the closing stages of Saturday's loss to Villa. The past fortnight has taken a lot out of them, and they look in need of some rest before the busy festive period. Given Arsenal's position in the Champions League, it's hard to think of a better moment for Arteta to just do that. This week offers the ideal chance to rest some tired legs and ensure Saturday's gut punch is only a stumble, not a shift in the title race. Boy, get this off me, man. So yeah, I mean, in relation to Bradley Barcola, Arsenal and Liverpool ready to compete for PSG forward as contract talks stall. As negotiations, again, a bit like the Kylian Yildiz thing, as negotiations over a new PSG contract continue to stall, Liverpool and Arsenal are preparing to pounce for Bradley Barcola. The 23-year-old is a big part of Luis Enrique's plans at PSG, already making 18 appearances this season in all comps, scoring 5 goals. Bit scrubby. This follows his breakout campaign last time around, in which he made an incredible 64 appearances in all comps for the French giant, scoring 21 times. The forward has also racked up 18 caps for France since his debut last year, scoring 3 goals, and will be expected to be at next summer's World Cup. PSG certainly want to keep hold of Barcola, but negotiations over a new contract are not progressing. He did join in 2023 from Lyon. He has a deal until 2028. Barcola, therefore, is not about to leave on a free transfer, but having turned down an offer of a new contract from his current club, suitors are on alert. Le 10 Sport reports that an offer of significant salary increase is yet to be accepted, and that a move next summer is a distinct possibility. The report also claims there is interest from the Premier League in Barcola, namely from Liverpool and Arsenal. Saudi Pro League has been touted. I think you got more option trying to get Mohamed Salah. So yeah, Luis Enrique said, I have no doubt that he'll stay our player. We like the fact that our players are interested in other clubs, but he's one of the young players that we've been banking on. I expect him to play here for many more years. Both Arsenal and Liverpool are well stocked in wide forward areas at the moment, making it difficult to see where Barcola would fit into either team on a regular basis. And obviously, Salah could be leaving Liverpool, so there's also that to consider. We've spoken about Kylian Yildiz, and that's literally word for word the same thing we've already seen. We're still linked with this German international, Nathaniel Brown. Apparently, he's well liked at the Emirates as well as Manchester City and Barca. His defensive discipline, reading of the game, and tactical versatility make him a strong fit for English football. Financially, his current wage level is well within the reach for Premier League clubs. The suggestion in the report is that he'll cost 50 million euros, which equates to 43.7 million quid. Do we believe that? I don't know. 22 years of age, can play in a couple of positions, much less fullback. Makes sense. Hot take, people. Surely Norgard gets a run at centre half. I know it sounds mad. He should be getting a run in midfield. Apparently, Arsenal backroom staff hired from Chelsea leaves club to take up new role. Massus Manor Marcelo Ribeiro left Chelsea to join Arsenal in the summer of 2024 after spending 15 years with the Blues. Popular Arsenal soft tissue therapist Manuele Marcelo Ribeiro has departed the club. Ribeiro, better known around the training as Manny or Manu, joined the club from Chelsea, as we know. So why has he left? He's left to step away from professional football to kickstart his own business venture. Manu spent around 17 months working for Arsenal and was part of the pre-season tour of the Far East this summer prior to his exit. It's understood he had formed close bonds with a host of key first-team players, not least Brazilian duo Gabi Martinez and Gabriel Martinelli. He's spent around 25 years of experience in this field, people. He's worked for West Ham, Fulham, Chelsea, Arsenal, Royal Bel Air, and again, several Brazilian players he's cool with. It said both Kai Havertz and Jorginho used to joke that Ribeiro had missed them so much he was left with no choice but to follow them across the capital to Arsenal. You big up yourself, man, but I can't lie to you. I don't care this much. Like, this great stuff. Go get another masseuse done, in it. Like, watch out for this. I mean, Arsenal, Liverpool, City still being linked with Semenyo. We know we're not in the race for no Semenyo. Yeah, look, right now, Semenyo is probably going to be the most talked about player in the January window. Liverpool have been front runners for him. City now also weighing up a move to trigger that release clause as well for around 65 million in January. Arsenal had admirers and they could make a move. Tottenham are admirers and Manchester United have also shown an interest in Semenyo as well. So as I said, it's probably going to be one of the transfers to watch for in January. It's just whether anybody's ready to activate it and pay that 65 million, but they could wait until the summer when the release clause drops to 50 million. But Bournemouth don't really want to lose Semenyo in January because he's going to be a tough act to replace. But because of that release clause, they'll be powerless to keep him. So surely, again, stranger things have happened, but surely if the clubs will say we can save 50 million if we just wait a couple months for the guy. So that's surely what we see. Semenyo has been mid since the release clause hype started. I know he's not really doing the job for my FPL team, man. Smash the like and sub. Roll to 100k. 4 p.m. I've got Tosin. Big up African Gooner. Big up yourself and the chat. I've been saying Norgard for centre back since Mascara got injured. It's inevitable. He's not going to be trusted by Arteta in midfield. Not sold on Barcola at all. People want Arsenal to have a perfect season with 0 losses, 0 draws, but then they don't want to call for trophies. It's bizarre, lad. It's crazy, man. But you saw the fallout around the North London derby in Singapore. So if that is a pointless friendly and we're seeing winning and losing and drawing in the season, it's going to be that, man. We're the best thing since sliced bread when we win. We're mad horrible when we lose. There's a lot of emotional dons out there. Hit the like button, subscribe, hit the bell so you don't miss streams or uploads. Players inevitably interact more with social media than with their coaches or the match day fans in the stands. Our problem is not moving the ball quickly enough. Raya rolling the ball back annoys me. Well, if Raya's dilly-dallying on the ball, you have to be fair to Raya, like there has to be some passing lanes available. Because I also see Raya distribute quite quick. That was Raya's busiest game for a long time. City lost to Villa, but you'd never see their fan base cave in. You man must show spine. Gyökeres got ruined in this setup. And White needs to stop conceding throw-ins. It's football. You're going to concede throw-ins, bro. Gyökeres needs to start scoring goals. He's got to get his shit together. The whole team has to. But to be fair, if you're not, and I guess he could do it, but what are you meant to do when you're coming on for 45 minutes max and you're playing 10 minutes and no one's creating for you? Like you're not a guy that's going to dance past people. Every attacking player has to fix up. Arteta, you need to do the same. And let's be honest, when things were a lot rosier and we were scoring goals from open play and set pieces, we were talking about these things. It's only now because we've lost the game and everyone thinks it's all over. Now everyone wants to be honest. You must have faith. If you cannot muster faith, then God has no reason to exist in your reality. Ten Hag can't even survive 4 games in Germany, but even United fans were able to will that through to some trophies. You must believe or there'll be nothing for you. I hear that, but I'm not on this believing for the sake of it, innit? If you want it, go out and do that. You need to make active steps. We're in a race. Everyone needs to stop crying and just buckle up, if I'm honest. If you don't think we can win, I don't know why you would want Arteta sacked. That's gaslighting. He needs to get over the line. Let's not KJ one love. Let's not be silly. In May, you need to win something. Villa going to drop 3 games in a row and people aren't going to be talking about Emre by January. It's boring. The fans need to be singing rather than wanting to coach in the middle of games. Everyone can do what they want, if I'm honest. Emre is obviously more tactically astute than Arteta. Yes and no. I think Emre is more experienced. His CV speaks for itself, and he does seem like he has Arteta's number. But like, let's come on now. Like, I hear that, and I'm not even saying this to gas Arteta. I've seen you come against Jurgen Klopp, whether you won, lost, or drawn. I've seen you tactically equip Arsenal against Jurgen Klopp, actually against Carlo Ancelotti, against Jurgen Klopp, against Pep Guardiola, against Luis Enrique, so on and so forth. You're a good tactician. We don't need to style the gaffer. Like, you do a lot of dumb shit. I'm vexed with the players and the gaffer, all things considered, against Villa, but we don't need to do too much. Rice, Zubi, Odegaard don't work. It's not going to work 10, 15 games into the season. DJ, I think we've been unlucky 2 games, while City have been lucky with their 2 games. But to be fair, there's also been games we might have been lucky then. We've nicked last-minute winners and things like that. You earn your own luck. I don't think we've been unlucky. I don't think unluck comes into my mind against Aston Villa, Chelsea, Liverpool. More so Liverpool, if anything. City at home. I actually quite vexed about City at home. I think they were there for the taking. So on and so forth. False 9, Marino set up draws, goals, conceded, game in jeopardy. It's not simple. We had injuries all season, got to find a way. That I agree with. Got to find a way. Like, that's it. As difficult as it is. Stop this nonsense. Emre failed at PSG and his Arsenal, his record as host too. But I'm not here to guess Emre, bro. Emre is better when there's no real, with the greatest of respect, when there's no real expectations. You know, PSG didn't work for him. Arsenal didn't work for him. And I'd always admire him for taking the job. You didn't get the money that Arteta did. We weren't all singing from the same hymn sheet. You did take it after a talismanic figure than Wenger. I'll always admire you for trying to learn English and they were trying to mock you. But it just didn't bang, man. I'm rewriting history. Emre thrives when it's a blessing that you're there. Like Villa, I don't think they're sitting there and demanding Champions League and winning trophies. Of course they want Europe. The same said for Sevilla, etc., etc. It just didn't bang at Arsenal for Emre. Arteta is a better fit. I don't subscribe to this notion that if Emre had the piece Arteta had, he would have won the league. When has he shown you that? And that's not me saying Arteta is better than Emre. It's like it sounds cool, but it don't really make sense. DG, when do you next see Ethan getting the start? And do you think Ethan should consider a loan at some point? January is a big possibility to go on loan. Surely he's got to start against Club Brugge. Surely. I feel sorry for the defensive unit, honestly. They're expected to keep clean sheets, create and score goals. Arteta must show the ability to get produce out of an unfavored youth prospect. It's easy when it's flashy Dalman with all the natural ability. Show me that you can get a month of production out of Josh Nichols. I don't think Josh Nichols is going to make it here, but I get the point, though. That's where, especially with this injury crisis, if you just had a steady Eddie right back or a steady Eddie centre half, like, Chelsea, they got little Archipong and that these guys could just come into the team. That's where our academy's got to do better. Let's be honest. When we do bring defenders through, it's accidental defenders 9 times out of 10. Hopefully, Salmon could be an exception to that rule. Half of the guys that play left back weren't left backs. And we already know if you're a centre mid, a creative, or Bobby Dazzler, like you're alluding to Max Dalman, that is our bias. We need to create more from our production line, and we need more all-rounders. But yes, get Yildiz, Barcola, and Semenyo is a no for me. Damn. We need a right back at some stage. Timber will get injured. We all know it. If you're watching, smash the like button, show some support, sub if you haven't. So we're all in agreement for Yildiz. I'm not going to hold my breath. Josh Nichols going to end up at Palace and cook. Listen, I'm rooting for him all the way. I just don't think physically you're there. Sometimes it's just not your time. Like, you might have to be a late developer. It might get to that stage where you have to blood him. You're just not ready. But you're a 19-year-old. I'd love to be proven wrong. I just don't think you're physically ready. Think you're steady on the ball. Actually think you, Sego Jr., a lot of you, if I was your managers or your agents, I wouldn't give a flying monkeys what the club got to say. It's not helping you lot playing under 21s. You lot need to be in League One, League Two, Championship, this thing, that one, being outside your comfort zone, especially if you don't make it out of Arsenal. Go somewhere where you can get some appearances. You need, as a young player, genuinely think you've got to be targeting 100 appearances. Because God forbid, but Josh Nichols gets released in the summer, you will find a club. But there's also a reality when you're going around the Championship, League One, whatever, and your agent or whatever, or people are pitching it to a manager. If I was a manager at one of these clubs, someone says, you got a defender from Arsenal. Oh, wow, he came through Arsenal's academy. What's he like? He's technically sweet. He's good 1v1. He's this and that. Bearing in mind, I said League One, League Two, Championship, whatever. We're trying to get out of that league. How many senior appearances has he got? He went on loan towards the back of the season. Out of an available 10 games, he played 2. You might say, nah, it's not for me. Not because he's a bad player. You might just say, nah, not for me. Because when you're fighting for your lives in that division, you don't care that a man was at Arsenal. Like, if anything, Don's at, and the fans, Don is at Arsenal, show us something. And clearly our loan system needs to improve. Like, how many good loan spells have there been? That should be the minimum. There's more exceptions. Balogun's one was decent. Mikaberev went on a couple of decent ones off the top of my head. Smith wrote to Huddersfield after struggling at Leipzig. Nelson's loans have all been shit, if I'm completely honest with you. Who else is there? The list goes on, man. You can't tell me Josh Nichols can't find 5 games for us in an injury crisis. That's mad. Run it up. Run it up. He's an option. We'll back him all the way beyond the bench. Run it up then. Where is he? Why has he not been bust? I'm all for the young players getting opportunities. But you're going to be in for a sad surprise when you see it don't bang. Like, are you not even watching these dons? Even 3 games in an injury crisis, defense is on its knees. Don't risk the players more than necessary. He's going to have to come. Even that. Marley Salmon's been on the bench. Fair enough, centre back, right back. It's a bit different, but where is Josh Nichols? Great work on ITV. David, appreciate you. Without people like yourself and the supporters, crazy. I'm not sure Emre or any manager would have the patience to build Arsenal to this point. If you're getting 15 million a year, you're getting backed. You defo would. You defo would. And let's have it right. Emre got sacked the minute bombs stopped coming on seats and the Emirates got a bit toxic. And even that, around sacking Emre, there was fans like, nah, he's got a goal. It's he's got a goal now, give him time type of thing. Right. Emre didn't bang for us. Arteta, you just need to get us over to the line. It's as simple as that. Yeah, he did play a cup game. Got hooked. Boss him. We're going to get to that stage. It's not going to bang in the Prem. He can be on the Prem. He's going to get ruined in the Prem. He's physically not ready. Technically not ready. Speed of thought's not there. I'm not even criticizing him. I expect that to be the case and needs must. And are you ever ready for anything in life? He will have a career. It's just not going to be here. You're not ready. You're genuinely not ready. And a lot of older players are there. I want him to. Reminds me of myself. Kane Rose, right back, bit small. Want him to bang. It's just not going to bang. It's not going to happen here. I promise you that. I want to be wrong. More lenders. We're not going to happen. But one thing I do agree with you, boy. Norgard centre back, Josh Nichols in the mix. You're gonna have to start using those things. You're going to have to start using those things. You've got no option. You've got no option but to, man. You've got no option. We've been here for 45 minutes, though, people. I don't want to bore you lot because there ain't really anything to talk about. I'm gonna have Toast in here at 4 p.m. where we can ask him for his thoughts on Arsenal because I'm bored of talking about the same thing. So it'll be a case of listening to you lot's thoughts and his thoughts. As usual, appreciate my members, my moderators, my subscribers, my long-term supporters. We just need to get a win on Wednesday, innit? And we're back in great spirits, innit? Because we're all a bit sour. But you know what? Let's just keep it moving, man. I hope you all had a great Monday. Catch you lot in a couple hours, man.
Always